Hi everybody, my name's Jim Andrews and I love video games. I love them so much that for 16 years I've made a career out of building a number of video game based businesses. Firstly, the Barracks LAN Games and Internet Cafe, which is a traditional internet cafe. It's the oldest of its kind in Australia and I think possibly in the world, but I'm not sure. My other businesses around video games are Reload Bar and Games, which is a video games based hospitality business here in Canberra. It's a bar. And there's also Reload Esports, which is a live esports production and events company. We also consult to business and to government. And also a new one, Active Gamers Australia, which is a school holiday program aimed at young kids and their love and passion of video games. There we go. That was for that one. Alright, so, from the basement. Okay, so the Barracks was established in 2002, and I came there in 2003, and in those days we had 40 computers and only 6 of them had internet access, and the combined speed of our internet connection was 1/100th of what you would have today, even if you had a relatively crappy NBN connection. Now, in those days, gaming was a fairly unfashionable, niche sort of activity with a reputation of gamers hiding away in dark basements like that, or in their parents' bedrooms. And we used to get the cool kids would come down between nightclub hopping and harass us and call us nerds and geeks, even though a lot of them were secretly playing video games at home. These days, it's an entirely different story. Video games and esports have blown up massively. And I've been running esports competitions since before they were known as esports. We've been running tournaments and events there since 2003. And they've moved from the basement to the stadium. So this picture here is from the international tournament for Dota 2. It sold out Seattle's Key Arena last year. It had a $24 million prize pool between the top 8 teams of 5 players each. So big money involved in esports. And esports, if you don't know, is competitive video gaming. And it's really big business and everybody needs to pay attention to it. We've also got video games based nightclub, Reload Bar and Games, which I mentioned before. So Reload is a social space for gamers. It's in its 5th year now. It's in the Sydney building in Canberra. It's a full bar filled with video games where people can enjoy the social aspects of gaming, of which there are many. Video gaming is actually a really social activity. Even when people are at home, they're intensely communicating with their friends, sharing adventures with people who might live next door or in the other state or on the other side of the world. But at Reload, we focus on social gaming with people sitting side by side, drinking video game themed cocktails and all of the other sort of trappings to do with video game world, like pop culture and movies, Star Wars, superheroes, all that sort of stuff. So it's a social space, people like that. And we've grown a lot. We've doubled our capacity now. We started at 80-person capacity and now we are at 150 people capacity. We've also just launched a school holiday program, Active Gamers Australia. Active Gamers Australia is aimed at the young people, and it's to give parents what they want and young kids what they want. So parents have a love-hate relationship with video games. They love them because they make the kids passive and they get them some peace and quiet. But they are also worried about what the long-term effects of video games and excessive video game playing might be. So with Active Gamers Australia, we've teamed up with the AFL, and we've tripled our registrations since we ran our pilot program in October. We're running it at their new facility in Woden, and we do a whole day of video gaming and healthy eating and all sorts of activities. So the kids come along, they get to play video games, they get what they want, we run them around on the oval, we take them to the pool, and we do structured activities, team building, and we teach them about online behaviour, safety, things like that, bullying and all that sort of stuff that's very topical these days. So we're getting great engagement on that program from parents and from teachers and school wellness officers who see the young people's passion for gaming and want to mitigate any potential harmful effects. So part of the reason that video gaming and esports in particular has really blown into the mainstream, because I'm sure you've all heard about it in the past few months, you've seen a TV article or something, TV or a news article, is that it's not sport exactly, but it is definitely a sport-like product, and it has a lot of viewers. You have like many hundreds of thousands of people watching the games online, not to mention the people packing out the stadiums. So therefore it can attract advertising dollars in the same way as sport. So you've had non-endemic brands like IKEA, which is now building a line of video game furniture, and the Sour Patch Kids, which are a major sponsor of the Overwatch League in the USA. You've also got the AFL and other sports organisations entering the space. So Essendon Bombers and Adelaide Crows have professional esports teams in League of Legends in the last split last year. And in fact, half of the teams in the League of Legends League are associated with AFL. So if you'd like to learn more about video games and what we're doing in our local space with ANU, UC and our Capital Esports League that we're launching this year, come and talk to myself after the presentation. Thanks for your time.